to all of you. Okay. So macam mana? Okay, sihat ke semua? Okay ke?
Sihat doktor. Doktor sihat.
Okay, good Dah. Okay, sebenarnya saya adalah MC sebenarnya lagi Saya MC sampai minggu depan. Tapi tak apalah Sebenarnya saya nak buat kelas hari ini because of I nak release the question of the quiz kepada awak semua. Tapi tak apa, kita akan ada quiz pada hari Isnin sampai hari Khamis. Okay. Seperti mana yang kawan-kawan awak nak lah. Okay. Tapi hari ini kita ada presentation seperti biasa. Boleh ke buat macam tu? Okey ke? Okey ke Tio? Okey Tio, thank you.
Okey, boleh doktor.
Okey, so sekarang ni saya minta maaf sekali lagi minta maaf sebab terlewat buat kelas hari ini. Okey. Kita boleh continue dengan kita punya kelas boleh? Okey? Kita boleh continue dengan kita punya presentation, okey? Okey kah?
Okey doktor.
Okey doktor, okey boleh.
Okay, the next group boleh present. Okay. Okay, semua sekali kena make sure jaga kesihatan sebab saya boleh dapat mesej daripada Afif. Okay, you punya group, ketua group. Okay, dia pun kurang sihat juga, dia bagi tahu kat saya Semua kena jaga kesihatan sekarang ni Okay, so kita continue. Higher order thinking skill, hurry up.
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, doctor. Anusha, the screen is not under presentation.
Sekejap, I nak tanya. Anusha daripada mana? Anusha, are you from Johor? No.
No, I'm from KL.
Oh ya ke? I ada kawan nama dia Anusha. Dia saya macam kawan I ke ni kan? Bukan. Okay, continue. Okay, continue.
Okay, sure.
Anusha, are you sharing the screen? Can't see the presentation. It's still under the PowerPoint.
You can see now?
It's still not under slides yet.
Now?
Still under PowerPoint.
Okay.
It's not big.
Can you see now? I already shared already. It's in slideshow.
No, it's not in slideshow.
Now?
No. Okay, Anusha, I think you know what. You go to you go to slideshow. You put there setup show. Go to setup slideshow. Go to setup slideshow.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Put as individual window. Browse as individual video. The second one. The second one.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Now you present.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Better.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Good afternoon to doctor and fellow friends. So today my group, me, Natasha, Devagi, and also Anusha, we are going to discuss on higher order thinking skills. Okay. Next. Okay. So we have a few content over here that we will discuss about. Just a little bit on introduction. We won't go deeper into HOTS, but because I believe that most of us already know what HOTS is. And then we are going to see the issues from teacher's perspective, student perspective, and also ways to solve the issue. Okay, next. Okay, so HOTS is actually being implemented during 1998. I think the first time we started with HOTS. And then we incorporated HOTS into our syllabus based on Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia, which is from 2013 to 2025. And rationale is actually to meet the international standards with emphasis on creative skills, problem solving, and also innovation. And this is actually to meet our standards in TIMSS and also PISA for science and maths. Okay, next. So HOTS thinking, we started off using with Bloom taxonomy, but there is a little bit of changes, amendments done by Anderson as well. This causes us to change from KBSM to KSSM. Now we have the new syllabus, which already incorporated HOTS in our teaching and also learning. Even today, if you look at all our science and maths textbook, we have all these HOTS question being included in the in our textbook lah. Okay, next. Okay, so HOTS here is an ongoing effort by our Ministry of Education to produce a balanced human beings and responsible for the prosperity of the country. And here, the purpose of having, or the benefits I can say for having HOTS incorporated in our syllabus is actually to help students perform thinking operation and then to face challenges. Okay, and they should be able to dare to take risk, to try new solution, to make conclusion, logic especially, because our students today, they are quite behind on logic, and they should be able to make prediction, to based on cause and effect, and also give a proposed solution with the creation of rational ideas. So that is the purpose of having HOTS today incorporated in our science and maths education. Okay, next.
Okay, actually you need to stress. Okay, sorry Natasha. Actually, you need to stress on the national blueprint about HOT. Okay, what does the national blueprint discuss about HOT? There is an issue there, a very big issue. The main purpose of implementing HOT. You know it? You know about it?
Okay. Yes, I read, but I forgot. I did not put in my presentation.
Okay, because our graduate is not complement with the demands of the industry. We are able to produce a very talented graduate, okay, a high score graduate, a first class degree owner, but then they are not able to do their work. They are not able to solve the real life situation, the real life problem. Okay, that is why we implement the national blueprint, really stress on HOT. National blueprint stress on HOT on 2013. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so basically it's actually to enhance our students' critical thinking, HOTS, and based on HOTS, and we have implemented. Is it, Doctor, you're talking about all the problem-based learning, all the techniques, what is that called, project-based learning and all that, just to enhance the creativity and the critical thinking skills of the students, so that they can actually meet the demand of the IR 4.0?
Not just RI 4.0. Okay, when we implement HOT, okay, when the national blueprint really stress on HOT, they want to produce a graduate that is complement with the needs of the industry. Okay, RI 4.0 is one part, another part. Okay. Okay. That is why HOTS really emphasize in our national curriculum. Okay, and then in your at your level. Okay, sorry to say, because my PhD is in HOT. Okay, I do my PhD in 2014, whereby at that time HOT is really very emphasized. Okay, so HOT, there are many definitions of HOT. We are not really strict on the Bloom taxonomy itself. Yes, Bloom taxonomy is one part. Okay, there are many definitions of HOT. HOT are, we can define HOT as problem solving. We can define HOT as critical thinking. We can define HOT as creative thinking, and so many more. Okay? Okay, you can proceed. You may proceed.
All right. Sorry, Doctor. If it's okay, then I can share a little bit on national blueprint later after the class. Is that okay?
Okay, Natasha, sorry. You may proceed.
Doctor.
Sorry for interrupting. Sorry, Natasha? Okay, you
Doctor.
may proceed.
All right. Okay. So continuing is the learning environment that supports HOTS application. So here we are moving from teacher-centered, towards student-centered learning, and this is actually to meet our, to meet the demand also lah, for our students' critical thinking skills, because we cannot just be teaching on, based on just chalk and talk like we have been doing for the rest. Before this in KBSM. So now KSSM, there are a lot of activities, there are a lot of things that is actually student-centered, which will help them to build up all the other skills that they need to for the future. And this is it's called the 21st century learning skills. Okay, next. Okay, but there is also issue on HOTS here, because according to our teams and PISA, we did not meet the demand in the early stage of the early stage of the exams. In 2009, we started with teams, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we started with teams, but it's not up to the mark. Even Thailand and Vietnam also have surpassed us. So that is why this KBSM changed to KSSM, because we want to beat the other country in things and also PISA. So here the issue is kelemahan guru punca 60% sekolah hadapi masalah kebat. So they blame it on teachers, which I'm going to discuss here. What is the issues of HOTS in teachers' perspective? Okay, next. Okay, the first is readiness among teachers, where the teachers are lack of knowledge on how these elements of HOTS can be applied in our teaching and learning. Even today, if you ask my experience in school, teachers are not ready to implement HOTS, not ready to ask questions that is out of the box among students. If you ask me as a biology teacher, even in my syllabus, there is almost 15 topics for Form 4 and 13 subtopics for Form 5. And it's a lot to teach them, to give them input, and to be able to, plan a lesson, which I will go through later. Okay, it's actually very difficult, but not impossible. It can be done, because our KSSM textbook today has a lot of questions which apply HOTS. And all the activity also apply HOTS, but it's just that the perspective of teachers has to change. They believe that HOTS is a work that they have to do, and it's going to cost them a lot of time, a lot of problem, but actually they have been doing HOTS. They have been applying HOTS in the way they ask the question. But what is HOTS? Some teachers, they still don't get it. That is the issue here. Okay, and because of that, readiness of teachers is also due to because of this traditional teaching methods. Okay, this is just for the sake of finishing the syllabus and for the GPMP. Because at the end of the day, even the school, PPD, KPM, everybody is going to ask what is the results. So that is what we are actually racing towards, even in school. Of course, after school, there is another world outside there where students have to apply, whatever they have learned, their skills into, finding a job and sustaining that job. But in school, it's not given much of importance yet. Some school, yes, but most of the school, or maybe some, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's not being given. Even in my school, we have a lot of senior teachers. So senior teachers, they refuse to do activities. They refuse. They just say, so what? At the end of the day, it's the results that counts. If you can produce result, that would be great. So which should change? I think the new generation, the new teachers that are coming in, we have to, change this perspective. start doing the right thing and helping our students to not just succeed in academically but also overall as an individual. Okay, and then next is due to this syllabus also, because of this syllabus, the time constraint. Okay, as a teacher, we have a lot of other jobs to do as well. We are burdened with a variety of other tasks like all these paperworks. We have TS25 coming in, and then we have what else? Sekolah cluster. Then we have the SKPMG. So many things that is surrounding us. So our teaching has become very limited. The time we spend to prepare for our teaching has become so less that it just doesn't benefit the students anymore. Okay, so the time constraint here, we as the teachers, our priority is supposed to be teaching. And to build teaching aid, it all takes time. So where do the teachers going to get time in building this teaching aid if they are going to be busy doing paperwork, if they are busy going to keying the system and many other things that they have to do besides teaching. So the importance of teaching has been very limited. So the HOTS to actually use HOTS to build the BBM, to build questions, to ask question, the right question at the right time to build students' thinking. The teachers need to have time to actually think themselves, to prepare for the BBM. Then only they can actually follow the flow, when they are teaching based on their lesson plan. Even today, lesson plan, if you look at lesson plan today in most of the school, we don't do that whole lesson plan that we used to do in during when we were learning in our degree or in universities. The lesson plans has become so short, and now we have lesson plan CIDS, we call it, where we key in our lesson plan online and all that. But how many teachers actually write the lesson plan accordingly? Students' activity and also for teachers' activity. What are they going to do in detail? What questions we are going to ask? Not many. That is our issue here. So how are we going to find the time to actually think for questions that can enhance, especially for our pre-lesson, for our lesson development, and also post-lesson, which we can use this? Okay. Is there any questions? Are there any questions? Can I go to the next one?
Okay, any question for Natasha Guru? Any question? What about you, Camilla? Do you have any question to be asked? Camilla? What about Farini? No question.
No question. Not yet.
Okay, Natasha, just proceed.
Okay, then I'll go to the next one. Next slide. Okay. And then here is, we have, because of the time constraint, because of the burden, the syllabus, all that leads to weak lesson planning. So usually there are also some teachers who don't plan their lesson early, ahead of their class, which is also a problem, because when you don't plan your lesson before you go in the class and you just do your lesson plan just for the sake of doing it, it's not going to give you a perspective of what you are going to teach. You may be experienced, you may have the experience, maybe you have been, 20 years in teaching. But if you plan your lesson, there may be a chance you will explore your teaching, your teaching ways yourself. Okay, maybe you can use project-based learning, you can use problem-based learning, you can use any kind of technique, what we have some more, a flipped classroom, we have as simple as brainstorming or discussion, whatever method that we have today. We must have that when we can have that when we have a strong lesson planning. Okay, that means from pre-lesson what we are going to do until the post-lesson, what we are going to achieve. Okay, you must have a track. Sometimes, yes, of course, things go wrong here and there, but as long as you're on track, you know what you're going to get. But now the thing is here is that teachers, most of us, because of lack of time and all that, we have a very weak lesson planning. Okay, we don't understand the students' need. Okay, some students, maybe in the beginning we don't understand, but if until the end of the year also you don't understand your students' need, that is going to be a problem. Okay, there are students who are unable to, the level is different from, is different between different students. There are weak students, there are high achievers also in the same class. Like for me, if I'm teaching biology, my school is a very small school. So when
Okay,
this
okay,
happens,
Natasha.
Yes.
Okay, Natasha, you bring up one big issue. Does hot
Yeah.
just for high achiever student? Or,
No.
or low achiever student also can be trained to gain the hot?
Yes. I was going there to with my point, doctor. Okay. So
Okay, proceed.
all right. So this is actually where was I? Yeah. Okay. My classroom. Okay. My classroom. In my class, we have 3 levels of students in one class because it's a small school. So we don't have many classes. So I only have one biology class, form 4, one biology class, form 5. So all the students are there. So I have low achievers, I have average, and I have the high achievers. So if I don't have lesson planning, I cannot incorporate HOTS for all my level, all this level of students. Okay, because HOTS also we start with level 1, okay, pengetahuan, remembering, understanding, and so on. So we can start by that. So even the low achievers can benefit from HOTS application using various techniques to teach the subject or the syllabus. So when we have a strong lesson planning, all the students benefit. Doesn't matter of whether they are low achievers or whether they are high achievers. But you can help all the level. But when we have weak lesson planning, we don't know, we don't have that plan for low achievers. We don't have the plan for high achievers. Maybe we go in, we just randomly choose, a way of teaching, and we just do it. That is going to cause a problem for, especially problem basically is for the low achievers, because pity them, they are not able to think like how the high achievers can think. But we can help them. How we help them is by our lesson. We must have the questions ready before we go in the class. So the activities, appropriate activities, which will help in our students learning. Okay, and also here last one is that lack of references and also guidance. Most of the teachers, when they don't understand what HOTS is, or maybe when they don't think that they can use HOTS, or maybe they feel that they are not well equipped with HOTS, they are not well equipped with the questions. What kind of questions? They also asking themselves, what is question that is, that is applicable to HOTS, that is going to, demotivate them to actually use. But actually, HOTS can be any question. It can be any question that helps the students to think, which we are doing in our class. But how we bring it to another level, that is a problem. When the teachers itself don't have any confidence. So the confidence is lacking because of references. We don't have enough references. We don't have enough guidance in incorporating these HOTS. Like even there are courses that teachers are going and all that. But when we come back to school, only maybe I can see only 50% come back to the teachers, or maybe less than 50%. Because I have experience in myself. There are teachers who go for courses, like for that day we have on IBSE, inquiry-based learning. But when come back to us, it's not the same, not what they learn from there. It's just, ni lah macam ni je lah, like that. So it is very difficult for a teacher to actually improve their skills in various techniques on incorporating HOTS in the syllabus. Even though today we have in KSSM textbook, if you have a look at KSSM textbook, a lot of activities there is actually, helping to enhance the HOTS level in our students. But how many percent of, teachers using and doing all the activities that is given there? Okay, in the time limit, time constraint that we have, the syllabus to finish before the end school end, syllabus dah habis ke belum? So, and it's a rush, and at the end of the day, it's still GPMP. So how do we change the teacher's perspective? We will discuss that through my classmate, through my coursemate later. But from teacher's perspective, that's all from me. But if you have anything to share, you want to, share any other issues that teachers face, or maybe I did not mention here. Maybe any of you could share your experience, and if you agree or disagree with me also, please do let me know. Anyone?
I can say something.
Okay, anyone, Theo? Okay, Theo, proceed.
Okay, I do agree with dilution, especially this is what happened in schools, especially dilution of information. This is when trainings are very specific due to cost. So they select teachers to go for training. But the problem is dilutions happens, and also to me it's all based down on the teachers itself. So as a teacher, once you regard yourself as professional, so I believe like lesson plan, all these things should not be a excuse for not implementing HOTS. Yeah, this is what I can share.
Yes, Tito, it's not supposed to happen, but it's happening. That is the problem. We have to be professional. We know we have to do it, but how many of us are doing it? That is the issue.
So it's all
Okay. I agree. I couldn't agree more about the issue regarding to the teacher. Okay, the main issue about HOT implementation of HOT is teacher readiness. Okay, teacher competency, and also teacher willingness to do the HOT actually. Okay, especially in the context of Malaysia. Okay, because we are not really ready. Even HOT has been stressed and been emphasized in our national curriculum since 2013. It will be about 8 years back, right? But then the teacher is not ready to implement the HOT. Okay, and then I really like about Natasha, okay, because she has bring out one big issue about the higher achiever and lower achiever student. Okay, I just want to ask about your opinion about, okay, is it HOT for higher achiever or HOT for lower achiever as well, or any suggestion, any opinion? Maybe I want to have opinion from Azhan Shahid. Okay, Azhan, you are an experienced teacher, right? Okay, could you share about it? Hurry up. Are you there, Azhan? Okay, maybe we can proceed to Hema. Hema, are you there, Hema?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Okay, Hema. Okay, what's your opinion about that? The issue.
I do agree with Chigu Natasha. HOTS, the teacher's readiness, the teacher's competency in applying the HOTS question among their students is an issue, especially when the teacher is having different level of students. But I do have a question here. Let's say we do have a different level of students, and then obviously some teachers, they do differentiation, correct? And then we wouldn't want the student to miss the opportunity to have that type of HOTS question. So when we are actually applying this HOTS question, right? So we go by the student's level. At the same time, we are doing this some sort of differentiation with them. My question is, when we are doing...
Okay, my question is, okay, about the Bloom taxonomy, right? You have a few stages of Bloom taxonomy, right? Okay, do you need to complete, or you need to master one stages to proceed to another stages? Like say you need to master about application before you to proceed to analyze, or you can just proceed to analyze. You just straight away to the analyze. What do you think? What do you think, Hema?
Doctor, I still feel if we want the students to experience the hard question, I feel like they do need to go through the stages, because
through the stages. Okay, why?
If
why?
let's say they don't have basic understanding of the concept, then wouldn't you think it'll be difficult for them to actually try the hard question? I mean, like what Miss Natasha said, it will be a demotivation for them as well, because they don't understand the basic of the initial parts of the taxonomy bloom. If they have difficulty understanding those levels, if, at a point when we want to teach them or give them a hard question, they will just be demotivated because they simply don't want to try it, because they don't, have that basic understanding on whatever topics that's being taught. So that's my opinion, Doctor.
Okay, thank you for that opinion. What about you, To? What about you, To? To, are you there?
Tio,
Theo, sorry, Theo. Okay, Theo.
I think I can explain regarding what your question you want regarding the
Yes?
regarding the low achievers, whether HOTS can be applied. I think my school, because Victoria is a TS25 school, so we use success criteria. So we use differential learning. Our school is heavily on differential learning. So our questions are designed in such a way that it accommodates the low achievers, because we already know the students are different. So the questions are designed. There are many success criteria given for low achievers, medium, intermediate, and high achievers. So I do believe that HOTS is applicable for all levels, but it is more difficult when it comes to teachers. You need to know your students very well. Then only you can apply the HOTS at different level of students.
Yes, I really agree about the point. Teacher need to know the student very well. They need to know the level of the student, and they need to prepare the exercise, the question, the approach that really complement with the needs of the student. Okay, right? Okay, and then it really employ our theory, right? Our ZPD. Still remember about ZPD? Constructivist theory. Okay, that student can learn more, can achieve more when they have been supported by friends, teacher, and anything. Okay, understood? Okay, and then is it necessary? Okay, for in your opinion, Theo, is it necessary for the teacher to produce several types of lesson plan in order to cater the different level of student? Is it?
I have the same lesson plan, but I have different set of questions when you ask certain students, because we are like designing for because we all need to differential learning, so we have different success criteria for each different group.
Okay, differential learning. I really I mean, impressed with that words lah. Okay, because differential learning, right? Okay, but then how you conduct the differential learning in your class? Does you group the student homogeneously or heterogeneously?
Heterogeneously. So we know the students. Actually, they arrange their group, like let's say for Form 6 they want to present. They usually, you see, students are like that. They are cliques, they are friends, they will dig. But then sometimes when I notice that the group is too, how I say, they are all the good ones are one group, all the weak ones are one, then I need
to
mix
up them.
Yeah,
you mix them
up. Yeah.
I see.
All bound down to teachers. It's all bound to teachers lah, actually.
Okay, good. Okay, I just want to get some opinion from Yushafiza. Yushafiza, you are a teacher, right? Yushafiza?
Yes, Doctor, yes.
Okay, what about your experience? Could you share with your friends? What about your experience?
Okay, about lesson planning. Okay, macam Doktor cakap, lesson planning saya memang ada apa panggil IBSE and apa KBAT kan. Tapi saya level saya pun macam Tio juga. Saya sama, tapi soalan pun saya akan ikut level of student lah.
I see. Okay, you ikut level of student lah.
Selalunya saya tanya verbal lah juga. Maksudnya saya bagi, contohnya kan soalan saya tanya kenapa ular dia jelirkan lidah kan.
Yes.
Itu saya tanya tu, so pelajar akan itu saya tanya pelajar level bawah lah.
Okey, tapi kalau you tanya pelajar level bawah, pelajar level atas nanti bosan. Soalan ni senang sangat dia kata. Tak macam tu ke?
Tapi doktor, bila saya ni pelajar atas pun tak boleh jawab sebenarnya. Kenapa ular dia jelirkan lidah kan?
Oh, I see.
Rupanya ular ni dia punya sense area penglihatan dia di lidah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you so much, Shafiza. Okay, I just want to ask every one of you, okay, one simple question. Okay, kita ada level-level of taksonomi belum kan? Belum taksonomi kan? Kita ada level kefahaman, kita ada ke level pengetahuan and so on. Okay, adakah kita kena kuasai, bukanlah kita student adakah student kena kuasai from one level to another ataupun kita boleh jump? Kita tak kuasai kefahaman tapi kita boleh kuasai analisis, kita boleh kuasai application. Okay, what do you think? I nak tanya, it's an issue actually Okay, I nak tanya. Kalau you membaca, you tahu. Okay, Natasha?
Doctor, can I just give my point on that question?
Okay.
For me, if we cannot just campur aduk. I think you have to kuasai satu tahap and then only you can go to the next. If you tak faham, if there is no understanding on the topic, it is impossible to analyze, it's impossible to actually do anything else because you don't understand the basic. Even if let's say we are talking about in biology, we have this called tahap penguasaan in our PBD, pentaksiran dalam bilik darjah. So that students have to actually be able to kuasai tahap 1 and then you go tahap 2 and then tahap 3, 4, 5 dan juga 6. So tahap 6 is already reaching towards creating something out of what they have learned. Of course they can create. If today you ask them create greenhouse, tak ada pengetahuan, also they can still go and find out, they can still learn and they can create. But it's going to be difficult for the low achievers. The low achievers have to understand what is the greenhouse concept. What do they need in the greenhouse? Because misconception happens. Okay, greenhouse, what is greenhouse? So for them to be able to create something, they have to know, they have to understand, they have to be able to apply it, and then they have to create.
Okay, thank you so much. And what about the others? Okay, kalau Natasha agree that the student need to follow the sequence. They need to master from one level to another level. Okay, what other student opinion? What about you, Tivagi? Tivagi, are you there? Okay, what about you, Salina? Are you there, Salina?
Ya, doktor, saya ada.
Okay, what is your opinion? Do the student needs to master from one level to another, or they can jump? Okay, from 1 to 3 to the third level of what level? What do you think?
Saya setuju dengan Natasha sebab saya ada pengalaman first time saya jadi guru. Waktu tu sebab saya bukan ijazah pendidikan, saya ijazah kimia. So once saya masuk ke sekolah, saya masih dalam GSTT, so kita hanya mengajar je saja tanpa mengetahui budak tu sebenarnya faham ataupun tidak. Rupanya mereka tak faham dan murid itu, so saya tak kenal mereka, murid itu adalah murid yang bermasalah jugalah, boleh kita katakan murid form 1 yang dalam kelas pemulihan. So bila jadi macam tu, ada guru yang bercakap dengan saya tak boleh mengajar mereka di luar daripada buku teks. Sebab bila saya mengajar di luar daripada buku teks, sebab waktu tu saya mengajar berkaitan dengan angkasa lepas. So saya kaitkan dengan waktu tu dengan penjelajahan Dr. Syekh Muzaffar. Diorang rupanya tak berminat sangat sebab benda tu tak ada dalam buku teks. And then diorang mengadu, mengajar diorang tak faham. So saya lihat dia punya potensi. Kalau potensi dia sehingga ke tahap pengetahuan, and then diorang boleh capai, itu pun dah cukup bagus sebenarnya.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, kita nak dengar pula suggestion daripada ni, Cikgu Zuriana. Zuriana, you are teacher, right? Zuriana, are you there? Zuriana? Okay, kita nak dengar pula pendapat Cikgu Zuriana. Okay, what is your opinion about the issue? Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so sekarang ni kan in our next class, I nak you all semua cari apa yang dimaksudkan dengan heuristic. 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 Okay, I nak tanya you some of the concept of heuristic, and maybe we can connect it with higher order thinking skill and the level of higher order thinking skill. Understood?
Doktor boleh ulang spelling dia?
Okay, saya type dekat sini Heuristic. Okay. You cari makna heuristics ni, okay, dalam sains tau. Jangan heuristic dalam bahasa Melayu ke dalam bahasa ke Cari dalam sains, and I nak you discuss about heuristic and apa kaitan dengan higher order thinking skill. Maybe. Okay, faham Sebab I nak you kupas satu isu, tapi I nampak belum ada orang yang bring up the issue. Okay.
Doctor, I think I can.
Saya.
Actually, to me, you can jump from one step to one step because those who are low.
Kejap. Esok minggu depan kita bincangkan, sebab ramai kawan awak yang tak ada lagi that basic kan, macam tu kan. Saya nak awak discuss, tapi you ada something dalam kepala you. Faham Okay, thank you so much Tio. Tio dia banyak membaca, saya tahu. Okay, thank you Tio Okay, so sekarang ni saya nak awak semua baca. Saya nak you nanti kita discuss balik. Boleh ke jam ke tak boleh ke macam tu. Okay, boleh Okay, so Natasha groups. Okay, you may proceed Natasha.
Yes,
okay.
Okay, all actually from my part, I will pass to my classmate for issues on students' perspective.
Good afternoon to lecturer and fellow students. My name is Devagi, and I will be presenting about the issues in implementing HOTS from a student's point of view. Okay, so in this presentation, we will talk about the issues regarding the students' involvement, students' knowledge, and students' communication. Next slide, please. Okay, the first issue would be the students' involvement in the classroom. Okay, so first, the students' involvement refers to the degree of attention, curiosity, interest, optimism, and passion that students show when they are learning or being taught, which extends to the level of motivation they have to learn and progress in their education. Okay, so here we can see that there are two types of students' involvement. One is active involvement, another is the passive involvement. Okay, the active involvement requires the students to think, discuss, challenge and analyze information during the classroom discussion. The students make use of their thinking skills when the teacher asks for further clarification in a certain topic being taught in the classroom, and the students are able to understand and gives a clear explanation in his or her own words. While the passive involvement means the students absorb, assimilate, consider and translate the information. But most of the times, the students they stay in silent and agree blindly to other people's opinions, and they are shy in pitching in the classroom. So they are more comfortable in memorizing the notes, and they may not fully understand about the topic being taught. Thus, they unable to give a clear explanation regarding the topic being taught based on their understanding of their, I mean, based on their understanding of the topic being taught. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, next. Okay, here, intelligence is a general mental capability that involves the ability to reason, plan, think abstractly, comprehend ideas and language, and learn, while intellectual ability consists of comprehension, understanding, and learning from the experience. So based on Howard Gardner in his theory of intelligence, he had stated that each of the students have a different level of intelligence, while Muhammad Shukri has stated that HOTS requires the student to evaluate the information critically, create inferences, and create generalizations. And higher order thinking skills requires the students to produce communications, analyze, suggest solution, create, solve non-routine problems, express new opinions, and make choices and decide. Next, please. Okay, so here the problem is in a classroom with a passive students and a low thinking level, the goal of HOTS to produce students with critical thinking skill is a little bit difficult to be achieved. Thus, the students need to have an active involvement in the classroom discussion so that there is a two-way successful communication to be attained. So thus, according to Yi, the mastery of HOTS by students are still moderate and low due to the different styles of learning and various level of students' intelligence. Moving to the next. Okay, one moment. Okay, next, that will be on students' knowledge. Being
Are you okay? Is your internet connection is not okay, or my internet connection is not okay? Hello?
Internet problem Anusha ke doktor?
Oh, bukan saya punya internet connection problem
Betul, dengar je suara doktor.
We can hear you, Doctor.
Memang slow.
Okay, kenapa tiba-tiba senyap ni? Tiba-tiba left.
Internet problem kot.
Connection issue maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Line issue, yeah.
Natasha, boleh continue tak Natasha? Natasha, you boleh continue untuk terbagi?
Yes, doktor juga
Sikit lagi kan? Sikit lagi kan? Okay, continue je lah.
Sure doktor, sebab saya nak tunggu sekejap sampai dia boleh masuk.
Okay, tak apa. Saya tunggu kejap Okay, no worries. Hello?
Okey lah. Dah datang sana, tak tahu dah kena sebut ikan ke langak dia terus dia tidak kembali.
Hello?
Okay, Doktor, tak apalah, saya continue saja.
Okay, Natasha continue, Natasha.
Hello?
Natasha continue Dengar.
Okay,
I
alright.
hear you. I can hear you.
So should I start from, I go through again, students' knowledge yang ni?
Tak perlu lah kot. Terus je.
Okay. Terus saja.
I just wondering,
okay,
macam mana you connectkan Howard Gardner dengan higher auditing skill?
Sorry?
Next before this, slide before this. Okay. Ada Howard Gardner, right? Ada ke? Slide before this? Ada tak? Yeah, Howard Gardner. Okay, macam mana you kaitkan Howard Gardner yang multiple intelligence dengan higher auditing skill? How? Faham ke, Natasha?
Yeah, Doctor. This one actually is done by
Terbagi. Okay, tak apa.
Yes.
Okay,
so it's supposed to be under her part, so I'm not sure.
It's okay. Just proceed.
Sorry, Doctor.
Okay? Next. It's okay. No worries. I'm just asking.
Okay. Okay, Doctor. Okay, so here the next is on students' communication, less skill in communication skills, especially listening, writing, reading, speaking, which will affect the students' attitude in learning process and also affect mastery of language. This I agree because in school today itself, students having difficulties, especially during the pandemic, during PDPR, we are already seeing students having communication problem, having reading problem, because I'm not only teaching biology, but I'm also teaching English. So in this case, I can already see the different students, especially in Form 1, Form 2. They are still, in the stage of grooming, but they couldn't manage the online learning and all that. So that causes them to have communication skills. So when they cannot communicate, they do not have the vocabulary to explain what they want to say in normal random questions asked. It's very difficult for us to incorporate thoughts in their learning, which will make them to think. Even today, if I ask my students, okay, how do you feel today? They just they refuse to answer and they just remain silent. They just don't know how they feel today. It's until that level kind of communication problem that students are facing. That wasn't the problem before the pandemic. And after the pandemic, especially now, the second year, they are doing online classes. I think that has affected them so much. So what about students? Even if they are not going through online classes, they will have problem with this. If they cannot speak, they cannot, communicate, they cannot do all that, they are going to have problem in answering question or thinking out of the box, which implements HOTS. Or they will have also problem, especially when we do like any group work, problem-based learning. We can do maybe even flipped classroom. They will be able to follow whatever the teacher is asking for because of these skills. The reading, even today, if simple instruction is not being read thoroughly by students, they don't know what instruction is given to them. Even questions. I just finished my Form 5 as PM Percubaan biology paper. They have trouble reading the question. They have trouble reading. They have trouble understanding the question. And that is probably due to their skills, less skills in listening, reading, writing, and also speaking. And also the attitude changes. When you don't have this, they will be less confident, maybe, and they will also be less, they're less confident. When you're less confident in your whatever you're doing, you just cannot proceed from there. That is our student today. Okay, next.
Okay, proceed.
Is there a next? Can you hear me?
Proceed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's all, I think. No, I think there's another slide before, Anusha.
About the student communication, right?
I think
Okay,
the same
okay,
thing
you
is now.
okay. Okay, you
Implementation
explain
of HOTS will be tough. There are students who still do not master the business skill and all that. I think I've mentioned all this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Okay. Any questions on student communication
Any question?
or
No.
students'
Okay.
perspective?
Okay, just proceed.
Okay, proceed. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Anusia, you can continue.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Doctor and my classmate. So today, we're presenting on a strategy improving in higher order thinking skill. So there's a 7th strategy. So the first strategy is to teach concept of concept. When teaching a particular lesson, teachers should identify the main concept and teach them critically. So the second strategy is the name and categorizing the concept, where teachers should guide the student in categorizing this concept to determine which each one is concentrate, abstract, verbal and non-verbal or process. And the third strategy is teacher inference and connect concept. So where inferring is making a useful conclusion by presenting evidence of fact. So this is where the student able to develop and to make a logical conclusion upon examining the presented information or the evidence or the fact what they learn in their classes. So the fourth strategy is to teach question-answer relationship, where question-answer relationship teach students how to label the type of question being asked, and this knowledge help them in formulating answer. So in this way, where it helps students to be aware between a textual information and prior knowledge in aiding them to determine what strategy to utilize when seeking answer to questions. So fifth strategy is a brainstorming activity, something like a mind map. So brainstorming is a medium for creating original and useful idea. So when you will divide the student into a group and allow them to brainstorm and reflect on the solution to a particular problem. So in this way, students able to open their deeper level of thinking as one student to generate their idea and challenge to think and also to develop better idea while they're engaging in a group. And the sixth strategy is the teacher technique. So they have, as a teacher, we have to dispose a pool of teaching technique and a method to choose from the higher level thinking. So by using this technique, it able to problem solving method, cooperative learning, case method also. And the last strategy is to emphasize feedback from a student. So basically to see what are the feedback when we given the lesson to them. So in this way, it helps students to identify the area of strength and weakness in their thinking activity, especially in their lesson learned. So these are the strategy can use to overcome the hot issue which faced by the teacher. Thank you. So any questions?
Okay, is you going to finish
Okay, that's
presenting?
all I think from our group. We have discussed HOTS.
Okay, for the strategies, I just want to
Yeah,
cut it
so we are
short.
done.
Okay.
Now we can ask for questions and answers.
Okay, for the strategies, to cut it short, okay, it is all depend on the student-centered strategies, okay. For the sixth one, okay, teacher technique, right? For the sixth one, please, okay, teacher technique, okay, provoke higher level of thinking, okay, it is Socratic teaching, Socratic questioning, okay. So brainstorming is just like the group discussion, and emphasize feedback. Also, you can provoke student questioning via Socratic questioning. Okay, I'm investigating about Socratic questioning. Okay, now, okay, and then teach question answer relationship is all about questioning as well. Okay, so one of the technique, okay, the main technique, the vital technique in order to inculcate higher order thinking skill among students is via questioning. Okay, and for me myself, I'm investigating about Socratic questioning, how to provoke students to think. Okay, if any one of you want to do Socratic questioning, just come and see me. We can do research together. Okay, that's all for now. Natasha, are you there?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Is there any question? No question at all. Okay, thank you so much for Natasha's group. Okay, quite a very impressive presentation. Okay, about higher order thinking skill. Okay, and then we will end our class. Okay, for today. Okay, before I end our class, I just want to ask you: is there any question regarding to the assignment or anything else about this subject?
Assalamualaikum, Doktor.
Yeah.
Nak tanya about assignment 2 yang exchange research tu. Kalau grup kami buat berkaitan dengan kemahiran ICT untuk cikgu, boleh tak?
ICT dalam sains, boleh?
ICT maksudnya dia lebih kepada apa? Kita kata not for the pedagogi lah. Bukan kepada pedagogi. Maksudnya kami lebih kepada macam pengurusan maklumat berkaitan dengan apa? Kemahiran ICT lah. Contoh macam dari segi cikgu nak guna Google Classroom.
Yes, Fazila. Yes, Fazila. Okay, tapi apa-apa pun kena dalam sains. Like say cikgu nak guna Google Classroom dalam sains, dalam subjek sains. Faham Sebab kita adalah isu contemporary in science education. Okay, you tak boleh lari daripada tu. Science education, whether you nak buat biology, whether you nak buat chemistry, whether you nak buat fizik, whether you nak buat science exam boleh. Tapi janganlah
maksudnya should be related to the science lah.
Yes, you tak boleh tiba-tiba you nak buat ICT dalam tiba-tiba teknologi maklumat. ICT dalam subjek teknologi maklumat tak macam tu. Faham Sebab everything is about science. Okay. Boleh je kalau you nak guna Google Classroom dalam kimia. Macam mana you nak guna, macam mana you nak implement Google Classroom dalam subjek kimia. Okay, kenapa subjek kimia ni perlu Google Classroom and so on. Macam tu lah.
Okay, faham.
Faham.
Okay, terima kasih, Doktor.
Okay. So sekarang ni kalau kita dapat question, kita end our class today. Kalau ada apa-apa, just bagi tahu saya dan kita boleh bincang melalui WhatsApp group. Okay? Thank you so much. Okay? Has a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Terima kasih, Doktor.
Terima kasih, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.